Hello, welcome to the third segment of our 2021 wrap up extravaganza podcast. This is our tier list segment where we're going to rank the games we played for the show over the year. If you are listening to this in the audio podcast, it will also be up as a video on our YouTube channel, which I believe is Save Station Video. Is that correct?
Should be Save Station Radio just on YouTube.
Oh, okay. What was Save Station Video then?
That's something you made up.
That's my competing podcast, actually.
I see how it is.
I have not told you about. So yeah, because this is a tier list, we want to make sure that there is a visual component available, because obviously that's kind of weird in audio format. So if you are listening to that, if you are listening to this on the normal episode, just hop over to the YouTube. It'll be linked in the description, so you can check it out. We'll also, I'm sure, put out an image on Twitter and all that good stuff. But if you are just watching this on YouTube for whatever reason, I'm the host, Dustin, and with me is my co-host, Cotter.
Hello there.
And yeah, we're going to rank some games. So much like last year, we have some ground rules. We have limits on the tiers. And these limits for this year are going to be, our first two tiers are going to be limited to 5 games apiece. Our next 3 tiers are going to be limited to 4 games apiece. And our last tier will be limited to 2. We do this to kind of keep it interesting. There's going to be some games, there's going to be some heartbreak, some good games that deserve to be higher that are going to go lower. The drama of it all. So, be prepared. And also, our final rules, we each get to pick one S-rank game. We get one, no arguments, no discussion. If you think it's an S-rank game, it just goes up there. Which, speaking of, do you want to start us off with your S-rank pick?
Yeah, I'm actually kind of torn between 2, but I think my guaranteed S-rank pick has to be Prey 2017.
Okay, a good pick.
Every time I play that game, it just gets better and better. There's so much just freedom and creativity. I absolutely adore it.
I like it. This will not be a surprise if you listened to the prior episodes, but my S-rank pick is going to be Spyro the Dragon.
Yep.
One of my all-time favorites. I love the whole trilogy. I kind of go back and forth between which one I love, but I do think it is the most consistent game in the trilogy, so I'm going to go with that for my ultimate pick here. All right. Now to the ones where we can argue about. Though I do think we're in alignment here. Going straight for Sonic 06.
I feel like when we decided F tier is only going to be 2, I think we kind of just knew that was always going to be one of them. So sorry, Sonic 06, but you're bad.
Yeah, and also my deep apology to Final Fantasy VII Intergrade, which is the other one. Really,
oh no,
really much of a bummer. Of course, it's Into the Dragonfly is going to be our other
other F tier.
Other F tier nightmare of a video game. Two truly trash video game products.
Which is upsetting because they had so much potential, but not enough time.
Yep, it's a huge bummer. All right, want to hit us off with another one?
All right, I think just to balance out this list, I think Prey 2006 gets a solid C.
I'd agree with that. It's a fine game. I think it's enjoyable throughout. It's fun in a corny way, but it's not super memorable.
Yeah, when we were discussing this game off air, we were like, I have a hard time remembering some stuff, like almost everything about this game. But if I was told that I have to go replay it, I would not be upset.
Yeah, it's definitely got that vibe. Like the opening is super memorable, but everything after that, I'm like, I can't. It's hard for me to tell you what happened in that game. So yeah, I agree with that assessment. I want to pick maybe a controversial one, though. If you listen to the episode, you're gonna know why I feel this way about it. I'm gonna say Little Nightmares 1 goes in that C category.
Okay.
I had the misfortune of playing the Switch version, which I had a really bad time with.
Yeah, that version's rough. The load times make dying needlessly punishing. rather
Yeah,
than an
which
instant respawn. It's like a full 20 seconds.
yeah, and it's one of those things where I can see that there's a good game in there, but my experience of it was pretty rough. So I'm kind of trying to balance that out with the C here, because honestly, if it were just my experience with it, I would have put it at D. But I think given that there is a good game underneath on other platforms, and as you confirmed during that episode, I think C is fair for me, at least for my thinking on it.
Yeah, we might go. I would put it in B, but we can leave it in C for now.
Yeah, and we can discuss it later too. What's your next pick?
Um, I think Little Nightmares 2, just keeping with both games, that one has to be at least A, if not S.
Okay, yeah, yeah, I'm okay with it up there for now. I really like that game, so
Yeah, that one's a strong contender for my game of the year, which I have already said earlier in the show. Full transparency, this one's being recorded first. Um, so it's high up there for me.
you know it's a hard one on here for me.
What's that?
Astrobot, because I think mechanically Astrobot is an S game, but
Yeah.
it's also not a full game, and I think we've got a lot of S tier potential on here. So I think for now we go A with that one. Yeah, I think for
Okay.
now we go A, and maybe it'll move up.
I could tell you it's probably the game I have most replayed on this list.
It is excellent, and it does have a lot of, like playing those time trials is hella fun, just straight
Yeah,
up.
we partway through the year, actually, Dustin, Sid, and I, Sid, who's been on the show before, we got in a bit of a race on trying to beat each other's times on the time trial, and that was a lot of fun, actually.
Yeah, yeah, it was a really good time. Give us another one.
Oh man, see, we're filling up. The problem is with this show is we play a lot of really good games.
Yeah, there's a couple of mediocre to kind of bad ones on here. You could get those out of the way.
Yeah, I think Sonic Heroes probably it's either C or D.
I'd go D.
Yeah, I think as a whole experience D, just because it gets really repetitive and sometimes extremely like either boring or punishing.
Yeah,
But just playing through like one character's campaign, whether that's Sonic or Team Rose, then it's fine. But
yeah. I think I found Team Rose to be a pretty enjoyable Sonic experience, but the problem is that's 1/4 of a video game,
yeah,
and even like something like Sonic Adventure 1, which I think a lot of people like even our replay of that I found to be like, actually I kind of enjoyed most of this, versus Sonic Heroes where I only enjoyed 1/4 of it. So
yeah,
yeah.
Sonic Adventure 1, I think a lot of people say that like half of it's good, Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles, but I don't mind Amy, and I actually kind of like Gamma stages. The only one that just really blows is Big.
Yeah, and I completely agree with that.
So Sonic Adventure 1, I'm gonna set in B for right now.
Yeah, I think that that's fair. Um, I think Shadow the Hedgehog can also go in D. Um,
Yeah, it's very similar to Sonic Heroes, where it just gets so repetitive, especially if you're trying
yeah,
to finish it.
not the worst game we played this year. I think it's got a lot of funny, ironic value to it, but like, it's kind of rough. Um, do you want to handle the next one?
Um, I think if we're gonna let's flesh out our B tier a little bit, I'm gonna put Evil Within 1 there.
Oh, okay. It is an enjoyable game. I don't know if it'll stay there though.
Oh, did you put it lower?
It might. Well, let's leave it there for now. Let's leave it there for now and see what the rest of this looks like.
I think it's enjoyable enough to be B, but like it wouldn't like I would gladly replay it, but I don't. I think it has a lot of flaws.
Yeah, and it is one of
So
those games because it is that survival horror action style game where replays is actually better. because you know where stuff is, and especially if you're doing New Game Plus, like it does get better every time you do it. So that's fair. All right. Since we did that, I'm gonna put Evil Within 2 in S tier. Make our first official, arguable S tier here.
Yeah. I'm not gonna debate that too hard. It was really, really good.
Yeah, it's one of my all-time favorite survival horrors. I think it's phenomenal. I think it's incredibly underrated.
That's another one that I think just gets better on replays. Like, you know what side quests to do, when to do them, what weapons to use. I love the aesthetic of that game. The gameplay loop is super satisfying. There's a couple moments that are frustrating, but that's partially on my fault for wasting ammo. So
Absolutely. And you know, that's just survival horror, right? That's learning the systems of the game and how they work. This is getting hard.
I know, right? Let's see. We put Spyro 1 in S tier. I'm gonna put Spyro 2 in A tier.
Yeah, I'm not. You know, I'm fine with that.
Not as good as the first one. Still pretty good.
Now, you know, I am a big fan of SA2, Sonic Adventure 2.
Yep.
And I would happily see that game in S tier. But what do you think about that one?
I think A tier for now. I think I really love that game. It's one of my favorites, just as like for nostalgia purposes, and also just because it's pretty solid. There are some stages that I would do without, like Meteor Herd and Mad Space.
Yeah, a couple at the end for sure.
And some boss fights that are a little weird, but I think
it has the Chow Garden though.
But it has the Chow Garden. It's got my favorite Sonic character ever, King Boom Boo.
Yeah. It's got the Pumpkin Hill song. Am I convincing you?
I'm leaving it in A right now. We can come back to it.
Okay. How does the idea of Concrete Genie in S tier look for you?
Yeah, I don't hate that.
We can revisit it. We can come back.
Okay.
It's a really cool game though, and I did find myself, because we had like a production, I guess I'd call it an incidental production meeting last night, and that was a game that I was like thinking about after that, and I'm like, that was really good.
Yeah, I think if we had an A+ category, that's where it would firmly land. Right now it's kind of sitting between A and S for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was really good.
Hit me with another pick.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and put EXO 1 in B.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's comfortable for that game for me right now.
Yeah, you know, one we did not too long ago, but I think mechanically it's super fun to do, but super short and doesn't do a whole lot with like giving any challenge and stuff. So super cool, but if I were to compare it to the other ones, I think sitting just in B is fine.
Yeah, I agree. Honestly, this might be a controversial one. I would also put Animal Crossing in B. That is a game that I think you absolutely loved, right? I enjoyed it. So
I think the problem with that is that it was really great when it came out, but now that we're, you know, over a year past it, almost 2 years past it, it didn't have a lot of updates, and it was kind of lacking content from the previous games. So I think even, you know, some diehard Animal Crossing fans that I know fell off of it pretty hard.
Okay.
And we did just get a huge update, but for me at least, that wasn't enough to get me to, you know, be playing it every day again.
Right.
So I'm okay with B right now. I picked it as my number one game last year, but
Yeah, I was expecting a little more resistance on that, honestly.
yeah. So I think B plus. I think for 2 years out, I think that's still solid.
Yeah, and for me, it's a game that I enjoyed for the review period when we played it earlier this year. But it's not a game I have thought to go back to at all. And it's supposed to make me feel that way, right? Like that's the idea. But it's just one that has not compelled me to go back. So I think B is where I would rank it. If we were doing that kind of review. So I like it there personally. Well, you do the next one. I just did that one.
I'm putting Hero's Tale in D.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not much argument there.
That's where it goes.
Yeah. I still stand by the fact that I would much rather play Enter the Dragonfly again than Hero's Tale.
Yes. Uh-huh.
But
I agree.
I can't in good faith say that Hero's Tale is worse, you know?
Yep, absolutely.
Mechanically it's sound. It actually functions as a piece of software for most of the time. It's actually got some length to it, but if I were told to play one of them between the two, I would probably pick Enter the Dragonfly, mainly because it's shorter, but I don't know. Hero's Tale just kind of was boring.
Yep, 1000%. Okay, we're really getting down to it. For me, Axiom Verge is a D tier game.
Oh, really?
I did not like that game very much. I had a pretty miserable experience. I know that it does not mirror most people's experiences with that game, but I truly did not have a good time with it.
Yeah, I mean, I would put it in B personally, just for the like sort of I don't know, just sort of like the aesthetic and the vibes for it that I really enjoyed. Plus, the gameplay was very reminiscent of the original Metroid games, which I am a super big fan. So, I'd be willing to settle for a C.
Okay, we can do that.
It's looking pretty even right now, but we got 4 left, and none of them are S tier for me.
Really? Okay.
I mean,
Sonic
not over
Adventure
Little
2 in S tier, not looking so bad now, is it?
I mean, Little Nightmares 2 is the one that I'm going to put in S tier if I'm being honest.
Hmm. Okay, let's have the conversation after we put the rest in.
Okay. Spyro 3, where are you putting it?
Oh man, well right now our A and B tiers are filled, and I do think it belongs there. So I guess I'll put it in C for now.
I mean, if we just...
No. We gotta no. Come on.
Okay, I'll leave it like that now.
We'll work it out. All right, hit me with the next one.
See, now they're full. I'm gonna put Axiom Verge 2 in A.
Okay. I'm gonna put Final Fantasy. Shove it in C for now. I think.
Okay. C is now over full.
And just to be clear, this is the DLC, not the full game.
Yeah, no, if we're ranking the full game, we already did that last year.
Yeah. This is Yuffie. I guess do you just want to stick Fury in B for right now? We're going to have to reorganize all this anyway.
Yep.
So here's the thing. We have, as of right now, 1 slot available in S.
And 1 slot available in D.
You have problems with Concrete Genie there. we could bump up. We could take that down to A, bump up both Sonic Adventure 2 and Little Nightmares 2.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
That feels pretty good to me.
Okay.
Sonic Adventure 2 is the one that I'm still like, I don't know if that's fully S. Some stuff holding it back.
I would put Spyro 2 in there. I would substitute it if I'm willing to do that.
See, for me, if it's between like SA2, Spyro 2, any of our A tier ones, then Asher's Playroom I think gets the S. I know it's not a full game, but man, it's so good.
It is so good. But is it better than SA2?
No, you make a convincing argument.
There is a room for another one in A tier though.
Yep.
Which I would argue should be Year of the Dragon.
Which was Spyro 3?
Yeah.
But is it on par with Spyro 2 though?
I mean, as I said, I have trouble ranking them. So yes.
Yeah, that's fair.
I could also see Fury going up there as well.
Yeah, I think for me, my solid Spyro ranking has to be 1, then 2, then 3, going down.
Sure. We have to lose one in B, and we need to gain one in D.
Yep, we sure do.
Oof.
My first thought was put Prey 2006 in D, but that seems very harsh to that game.
Yeah, it does. I mean, I like Prey 2006 much better than I like Axiom Verge. Yeah, see, now we're getting... This is rough. This is a rough one, huh?
Yep, this is where the limiters come in.
Yeah. I could see... Well, I was going to say I could see an argument for XO1, but I think XO1 is so enjoyable that I don't want it down there.
Yeah, no, I think that stays pretty firmly in B.
Yeah. I think the one that moves down is either Little Nightmares 1 or Axiom Verge. I think it's got to be one of those. Because I think Final Fantasy DLC is too good.
Yep.
I think Prey is a little too good. Even if I didn't find part of it memorable, I do think your comment about it being... Like, if you told me I had to replay it, I would not be upset, you know?
But also, I would gladly replay Little Nightmares in a heartbeat, so...
Does that hold up on a repeat playthrough, though?
Yes.
You think so?
Yeah, I've played it a couple more times since then.
Okay. So you think Axiom Verge?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, even though, yeah, it's a D tier, it's still on par with Sonic Heroes and Shadow the Hedgehog, which, while they have
That's
their
not
flaws,
a great...
well, I don't know, but I still really enjoy Sonic Heroes overall. Like, it's not...
Okay.
It's has its issues, but I would still play it again.
Okay. Remember, we designed this list with heartbreak in mind.
Yes, I know.
Now we gotta do a C tier game. I think Evil Within or XO1.
I think Evil Within. That was the one I was gravitating towards.
I'm okay with that. I think that's acceptable.
Yeah, a lot of really cool concepts, but overall just has some hangups, some pacing issues, some little bit of strangeness, but still pretty good.
Yeah. Man, Evil Within and Little Nightmares. What a glow up for those series.
I know, just jumping from C to S
I
in
mean,
their
I guess
sequels.
Sonic and Spyro as well. But
Yeah, no, Spyro went downwards.
yeah. Yeah, because this is jumping up. Um, okay, okay. I think I'm comfortable with this.
Yeah,
Yeah. I do like Axiom Verge and Axiom Verge 2.
yep,
Um,
that one was really mechanically solid.
yeah. And I think it held its own even after I played Metroid Dread this year, as a Metroidvania, which is good.
Hmm.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah, I'm
See,
good with this
I
list actually.
yeah, I did argue for SA2 over Astrobot, but that's so hard.
I know, right? Now that we're looking at it again, don't get me
Uh,
wrong, I absolutely adore SA2, but is it really an S tier game?
you know what? Does Astrobot have ska in it? The answer is no.
Yeah, it
SA2 goes over.
doesn't have Metal Harbor, doesn't have Live and Learn, City Escape,
It has the GPU song, which is great.
which is great, but that's one.
Yeah, it's one. It's one. Sorry, buddy. Um,
Give us a new game, maybe you'll get S tier.
yeah, I am okay with this list. I like it.
All
I
right.
like it.
So to recap, our lists are in F tier, we have Sonic 06 and Spyro Enter the Dragonfly.
Trash. Throw it away. Burn it.
You don't need to burn it. I would still play both of those again, but that does not mean they're good. um, D tier we have Sonic Heroes, Shadow the Hedgehog, Axiom Verge, and Spyro Heroes Tale.
I feel like that would be the only one people would have problems with in this ranking.
What? Just all of D?
Axiom Verge in that group specifically.
Yeah, and I still kind of do have an issue, but I think I can make peace with that.
I'm sorry, I didn't like it, guys.
I really like it, so we balance out. In C tier, we have Prey 2006, Little Nightmares, Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade Episode Yuffie, and The Evil Within 1.
Okay.
In B tier, we have Sonic Adventure 1, Spyro Year of the Dragon, Exo 1, and Animal Crossing New Horizons.
Fair.
In A
Harsh but
tier,
fair.
harsh but fair. In A tier, we have Astro's Playroom, Spyro 2, Ripto's Rage, Axiom Verge 2, Concrete Genie, and Fury.
Mm-hmm.
And then in S tier, we have Prey 2017, Spyro, uh, just regular old Spyro the Dragon, The Evil Within 2, Little Nightmares 2, and Sonic Adventure 2.
Nice. All right, we're locking this in. No last minute suggestions, arguments, anything?
Nope, I think I'm okay with this.
All right, this is the definitive ranking of the Save Station Game of the Year.
No. Yep.
Coming up next, we're going to talk about our personal Game of the Year lists. So you're going to want to stay tuned for that in the podcast episode. If you're watching this on YouTube, this is a whole audio podcast with a couple more segments you can listen to. It's a whole big thing we're doing. We're going to talk about our personal Game of the Years. We have some fun categories. We're going to talk about our time playing video games over the year. All sorts of fun stuff. So go check out that audio podcast. And yeah, thanks for watching.